Maria Micaela G. Rivera. So, for my better understanding about developing composing skills, listen to the next reporter. Thank you.
Here are the barriers. Operating skills are noise, lack of effective tools training for writing, scope of motivation, and writer's block. First of this is noise. Noise is a very common problem that we feel in our workstation. A writer requires a complete silent place. When anyone involved writing his thought travel in a coded message to his mind. If anyone interrupts the flow of thought is disturbed, then he became disturbed. But a writer should be used to the noise factor because he cannot come across a place that is filled with utmost silence, except occasionally. He should concentrate on his work deeply. One is a lack of effective tools. Writers require many tools for writing. Today's writers require internet to gather information. So, everybody is not lucky enough to own PC and buy an internet connection home. If he lacks digital facilities, then he can gather information from the books. He should store books that he buy or uses for academic process. A writer should also learn to make effective use of his tools. Even if he has on internet connection at home, he must know the techniques to search the desired results. Training for writing. Everybody is not lucky enough to imbibe training for effective writing. If a writing belongs to a wealthy background, his parents can assist and finance for him to learn various courses for writing. But even if he is not able to acquire any training, he should train himself. He can gather information from various sources such as internet, books, libraries, friends, and etc. Scope of motivation. Sometimes, a person may feel the urge to write something, but the people around him may not encourage him. They may tell him that he is not a good writer. In such situation, he should not follow the words of others, but he should follow his own path. If he is urged, he should take a step ahead. If he has not developed the necessary skills, he can learn a lot by watching the other writers in the forum. He can learn the skills that are necessary for a writer. Last is writer's block. A writer consistently needs to think and ponder to write something a point of time when he or she is continuously delivering thoughts to pin down. He may come to a point where his mind becomes saturated. At this time, he cannot think further as his mind becomes blocked to refresh his mind and start writing again. He can use different techniques. He should quietly sit down in a room and read some things that absorb his mind.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my assigned topic is about the formal and informal writing style. But before I discuss that topic, I will first introduce myself. I am Crizal K. Gonya of BA Ed 302. So, formal writing style. So, formal writing is a written for an audience you do not know on a personal level. It is often the main style in academic writing, and it is more complex than informal writing. So, formal writing is so serious. Kapag sinabi nating formal writing, ito yung mga ginagawa natin or ito yung mga ginagamit nating as to write professionally or reaching out to a client or prospect. So, dito sa formal writing, dito natin ginagawa yung mga academic writing. For example, essay, research paper, or at iba pa, yung mga job applications, katulad ng mga resume writing, CVs, and covers letters. And then, ito yung ginagamit natin itong formal writing to reach out to someone you do not know. Ito yung mga dapat nating gamiting writing. Formal writing dapat yung gamitin natin when it comes to professionally. Next is informal writing. So, informal writing consists of short sentences, and it is used in more personal settings, such as writing a letter to a friend or a diary entry. It is much more relaxed than formal writing. Bakit ba sinabi siya more relaxed than formal writing? Kasi, ginagamit lang naman natin mga informal writing to writing to our friends, sharing a story, or writing a personal blog. Writing creatively. Ito yung ginagamit natin, yung informal writing. Like, instructed to do so if is in school, writing dialogue and conversation with others, and writing an outline. Itong writing styles ito yung on how the writer expresses themselves. So, it includes the spelling, the grammar, the punctuation also, as well as aspects like sentence length and word choices. Next is the characteristics of formal and informal writing. So, when you look at the piece of writing, it is possible to distinguish whether it is written in a formal or in an informal style from different aspects. So, the main characteristics of an informal writing styles are: number 1, colloquial language and terms. Informal writing is similar to spoken conversation. So, it may therefore include the slang, figure of speech, broken syntax, or asides. So, that is the example for colloquial language and terms. Next is a person tone, as if you were speaking directly to your audience, so the readers. The informal writing is often very conversational in style. So the writer often uses the first person, like for example, I and we, and will also address the reader directly using the second person to you and yours. Second person for you and yours. The last characteristics for the informal writing is empathy and emotion. So, in informal writing, a writer will often shows more empathy towards the reader. So, they may, for example, explain a more complex thought more clearly. It is linked to the personal style in informal writing, which is more suited to conveying emotions. The main characteristics of a formal writing styles are: first is a more complex structure. Formal writing often uses longer sentences. So, however, this is changing slightly when a growing understanding that clarity is important. So, dito sa formal writing, you will also see structured approach, generally with points clearly introduced, explained, and concluded. So, for formal pieces of writing are often carefully planned, revised, and reviewed several times to ensure that they are as clear as possible and make all the necessary points. In informal writing to formal writing, the writers uses a more objective approach. So main points are usually stated and then supported with arguments. Dito sa formal writing, sa an objective approach, it is less likely to be emotionally in style. So it therefore avoid emotive punctuation such as exclamation point or ellipses unless they are being cited from another source. Next is use of words rather than contradiction. As a general rule, no contradiction should be used to simplify words in formal writing. Abbreviations should generally be spelled. The last characteristics for formal writing is writing in a third person. Formal writing is not a personal writing style. The writer often aims to sound dispassionate but about the topic. It is usually not appropriate to use the first person like I or we or second person. However, there are some exceptions to this the writing in the third person. So, yung informal language or writing, it is suitable for use to everyday is epektibo ito sa on how we speak or write sa ating mga kaibigan o sa ating pamilya. Because included dito yung paggamit natin ng mga slangs or colloquialism. So, the recipient o yung receiver ng ating pinagsabihan, ano yung ating mga sinasabihan o yung ating mga sinulatan, they tolerate some spelling and grammar mistakes. So, madalas tayong gumagawa ng mga informal writing style when we composing emails and letters to our friends and families. Blogs also, other online copy, and also written in more informal conversational style. Dito sa formal writing naman, dun sa formal writing, it is need much more care. Bakit ba kailangan maging mabusisi yung paggagawa natin ng formal writing style? Because ginagamit natin itong style for use for business, for example, and other official purposes. So kailangan dito it needs to be correct in terms of grammar, spelling, punctuation, and usage. So kailangan it needs to be correct. Kailangan tama yung nalagay natin ng mga salita dun sa ginagawa natin. Kasi nga sinasabi natin yung formal style, it may also be appropriate for some letters. For example, if you are making complaint to an organizations, kailangan more formal writing yung gagamitin natin because it's more professionally. So, yun lamang. Thank you.